Okay, now Trissa's going to tell us about her little card system.
Okay.
Okay.
So after I get my number in my head, like how many people I want to contact, then I'll go in and...
I'm distracted, your lashes look fantastic. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so then I'll go in and I'll kind of, I'm a real people watcher, so when I go into a store, I'll kind of like, if she was the person in the store, then I would kind of peg her out and I'd look at her and I'm like, oh my gosh, her hair is so cute, she's got the poof going on, she's got this really pretty lipstick on, you know, but none of it's probably unique, but I'm gonna pick something that I love. Absolutely. It could be shoes, it could be something, but she's gonna have to come to me and say, are you finding everything okay? And I'm gonna be like, yeah, I'm finding everything okay, but not like I'm like, cool, but
I'm totally checking you out.
Exactly, but I'm looking at her to where I can actually speak to her about something that we have in common, but not just about the product or whatever I'm looking at or whatever. So when she comes to me and asks me about if I'm finding everything okay, I'll say yeah, and then I'll say something, or even my kids will say something, and it's not even, I don't even cue them or anything. They'll just say, oh, say something, and then I'll say, oh, and by the way, you know, do you care if I give you a sample? Here's my card. And then I will make sure that I get their contact information, because you giving them their card is okay, but how likely is it that they're actually going to contact you? Because it's going to go in their back pocket, it's going to go in their purse, and then it's gone. So then all of a sudden I email them a couple days later or a day and say, hey, did you try that? It's so awesome, blah, blah, blah. Or send them a video to my favorite link of, like, say I give her a
But how
lip
did you
stain.
get their contact information?
I asked her. I said, do you mind if I contact you in a couple days to see how great the product
And they
works for
say
you?
okay?
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Always. I mean, there's very few people that won't give you their email, or, you know, you're not saying, can I give your phone number?
Can I get your social security number?
Did you fall from heaven? Did it hurt? Like, can I have your phone number? Like, just ask them for their contact information. It would be the contact information of her choice. She's gonna tell me her email or her phone number or whatever, and then I'm gonna contact her
So
later.
if she says, well, what do you want? What do you want? Do you just say, oh, just your email's fine, or what do you say?
I'll just say whatever works best, or email.
I just want to contact you and find out if you liked it or not.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so if I get their email, then I'll have tutorials, you know, on that, whatever I gave her the sample of, like the lip stain or anything like that. And then I'll send that and say, you know, something about what I remembered. Like, as soon as I get out of the store, I'm like, okay, I was in Victoria's Secret. She was so cute. Her eyes, you know, I write down quickly
on my
card,
little cards
that she wrote on, or I wrote on, what their contact information was.
So you just have like a stash of cards in your pocket?
No, you just put them in your purse, your bag right here. Because you're going to hand out your sample, right? You have your samples in your bags.
Right.
So you choose, or you have a ring, like some of those you can put on a ring on the end, like punch them first. Yeah.
Okay, so do you give them a choice? Like, you say, I've got these samples, what color do you wear, or anything?
No,
or do
because
you
she's already got a pink on. So I'm gonna reach in and I'm gonna go, well, I have such and such today, so I'm just gonna pull it out. I'm not gonna ask her
of
because
lip stain.
Yeah, whatever you've made.
Okay.
It could be the eyeshadow. It could be, so you've got 3 or 4
Sexy
colors.
and confident are definitely your go-to.
Definitely. So you've got 2, and you only limit yourself to a few so that you're not like, I got like 10 things in here. So you just reach in really quickly, get what you have, and you look at what lip color they have, and you know what you have already, but you're gonna pick either your eyeshadow or the lip stain or whatever they have, and then that's what you do. And then you remember, write down something that you remember about her. Like one girl, I showed the sample email. I really did buy a pair of shoes because I liked her shoes. I'm like, where did you get those shoes? I'm like, so I'm a shoe person, so that's what we talked about. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay, so here's the sample, and you know, you just.
Okay. So can you tell us how you organize your cards when you get home?
Okay, so you have your files, and I should have brought mine in, but you have your
6
files.
minutes left.
Okay, give me your thing. Okay, so it depends on how it works for everybody, because everybody's different in how they contact. But you would stick your files in here, and you say so you have the card. I just contacted her. I just got her information. I need to email her, so I'm going to put her in the email part. And then after I email her and I've contacted her, I'm going to slip it into the back to say do I need to recontact her? Did she want to host a party? Did
So how
she
do you
wanna...
talk to her about hosting a party?
Well, because she loved
Through
it
the
so
email.
much.
So she's like, oh, I
But
love
she's-
it. So you're like, oh, you want to host a party?
Yeah, did you want to earn some free product?
Okay.
Like through
Okay.
the email, you're just
Okay.
going to say,
That's after you've emailed.
yeah, you want to know how she liked it. You want to know, because if she didn't like it, there's no more conversation. But if she loved it and she liked it, and a lot of times I'll say, like if they're working long hours, like especially like in a retail store, you're like, man, you've been here all day, but look, check this out. This is like lip stain that'll last you your whole day.
All day.
Yeah, and so then I just move them around to what works for me. Like if I'm going to recontact them, if they want to host, if they want to just purchase, if they want mascara.
If they hated it.
Yeah, if they hate it, I just kind of put them in the back. But I still will send them something like of the kudos or something. I'll still send them information, but I just don't.
How often? Once a month?
Yeah, just when the kudos come out, I'll send it out, and then eventually, like I've had some people, all of a sudden, okay, I'm gonna try it. So then they'll try it. Like could be 2 months, could be a couple weeks.
I have another question. So you send the email out. What if they don't respond? What do you do?
Then they don't respond. But you could still contact them, like send them a friendly email, the kudos, and keep them up on the information, because eventually they're gonna look at it. So how many times is somebody gonna say no before they go, okay?
Okay, so now you've got them doing a party, and how do you run your party?
So then should I talk about the notifications or should I?
Sure.
Okay, so.
Sure. 4 minutes left.
Okay, so most of the time when people, when you're doing a group and you invite all of your friends, if you don't have, or if they don't have their notifications turned on, nobody will know that they aren't even invited to a party.
Oh, didn't you say like only 20% of them?
Maybe even less.
Okay.
But
Say that again.
okay, so you have notifications on your computer, your phone that you can turn off. But when you send out when your hostess sends out all of her invites of 150, 200, 300 people, if they don't have their notifications turned on and they don't know that they're even invited to a party. So how many cells are you going to get out of a party if they don't even know the party's going on? So half the time, you can have them start, if they've invited them, once they're invited, you can tag them, right? So during the party, I'll coach the hostess and say, okay, this is Uplift. Who in your group can use Uplift?
So you'll message her?
Yeah.
And just tell, okay.
I'll PM her. And then have them tag those people. So you're not tagging the same people every single picture.
Yeah.
You're targeting the people that are gonna use that product. And you're tagging them so that all of a sudden they get a notification and they're like, hey, a party's going on. And then, or something's going on, so I'm gonna check out my tag, and then they'll come into the party or ask to be, like I think it happened to you with my Jamboree party. And so what I did was eventually I just put it on my main page and said, hey, we're gonna do this great game, and here's the link to my party that's going on right now. And then all of a sudden people are hopping on. They didn't even know. So you have to make sure.
Maybe.
So when you tag them, does it, rather they have their notifications on or not,
Because unless they've left the group, they're
They'll
in
get
the
the
party.
tag.
Yeah, they'll get the tag, and you tag them. So then all of a sudden they're highlighted and they're tagged, and they're like, what is that? And then because their notifications aren't on, but they are on for your personal relationship, but just not the party.
So what'd you do like on the splurge? Like tag your friends that you know love shimmery eye color?
Yeah,
Okay.
and your younger people that really are into the glitter, shimmer, and all that stuff.
Okay.
And you just kind of specify, like, okay, go ahead and tag 5 people or as many as you want during.
I'm nervous about the Uplift. Tag all your old friends with, crow's feet or like.
No,
what do
because
you-
how many girls are?
I
Yeah.
had a girl that I talked to when it was the day after her 50th birthday, and she said to me, well, now that I'm 50, I guess I need some of that Uplift,
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be offended if somebody tagged me. Let's just face it, we're all getting
Okay.
older.
Right, and
we all should
now
be.
that we know, like, I didn't specifically know that you could use it for I knew you could use it in different areas, but not your whole entire face.
Gosh, I've been
Why
using
wouldn't
it
you
on
do
my
that?
whole
I
Liquid
have been
Botox
using it on
for
my
your
whole face because of
Even
your
if you
post.
aren't 40, my daughter just ordered some.
And let
for
me
her.
just
She's
tell you,
not even
do
20
this
yet.
thing. Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay.
Oh, girl.
My moisturizer and put it all over my
Yeah.
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 That's your night cream.
Yeah, so
Moisturizer and
you know
Uplift.
your friends, you know the people that are in your party, and you know what they like, and you know if it's just the mascara, you're going to tag them in your first couple pictures. But as your party goes, and then you want to kind of do a couple games. I don't do a ton of games because I think people get a little.
Okay.
But I do 2 like major games that are really, really talkative.
Let's talk about sponsoring for like 2 minutes. How are you getting like new recruits every 5 minutes?
Okay, your back office is your best friend. Your back office is like your Bible. I don't know.
The new presenter's guide. I have it.
Yeah, you can go back into your customers and you can go in and you can filter out and you can see. And I just
But you do this on your computer though, right? Because it doesn't work quite as well on your phone. Okay.
Yeah, and you can go in and you can get all of their emails, and then you email them again. And some of them I contacted, I don't know, maybe like a month and a half ago, and then all of a sudden it was just like do, and they all just kind of signed at one time. But there are people that I contacted that were customers that I contacted, sent out emails, and then I got responses.
So what do you say in your email?
Hey, just give me the opportunity.
How did you like that mascara?
Mm-hmm.
And
I have
then
a question about the back office, if anybody knows, I don't know. So I've done a lot of vendor events. I have 150 contacts that I send a monthly email to. But is there a way to enter them into the back office? So that
they're going to
get
make that possible.
Email?
They are making our
'Cause you know
back
how-
office
'cause
so you
now
can do that.
Some of my people are getting an email from me directly and an email from
Right.
me.
Right.
That has my name
Okay,
on it.
now I need to make an announcement on that too, because I have over 150 customers in 1 month. When you have over 150, they don't show you more than 150. So half of my customers got lost, and one of them had a problem and came to me, emailed me, and said, "I need my ID number." I could not find her anywhere. So I got a hold of corporate. They know that it's an issue and it's going to be a hard one to fix. So you need to make sure that when you're going into your back office,
now go into your
write it down.
Yeah. So now talk about
I do
your
write it
binder.
down. I have a binder and I write down every single customer that I have when I first see their order. I just write down their first name, last name, and then when I email them and tell them, thank you or whatever, I make sure and put their ID number in the email.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and so I make sure and put their ID number in their email, so that if I have a question or if they have a question, because the email that I email is always the one that they return back with. It's never the corporate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's always the one that I send them. So
Okay.
when they come back to me and say, "What's my ID number?" Well, it's right there. And then you highlight it again and let them know. So those 150, when you have a customer or somebody that disappeared, you have to go back into your back office, go under customers, and then you can find them via email, because some people don't use their email is not anything near their first name, or their first name that they actually order under is not, like, her name was totally different than the name that she was under. So I finally found her under customers. So you have to use your back office to figure out what happened.
So you send an email, hey, you like the lashes, what do you say? So you should sell them? Like, what do you say?
No, and sometimes, most of the time, I go, and when you go in and you click on their order number, you see their Facebook picture. You can see what they look like. You can see how they are. So like I said, I look at them and I'm like, oh, she's really cute. Like, she's really cute. She should be selling this.
Will you say that about me?
You totally say. I will email you and say you're so
I
gorgeous.
just need, can everybody just take a day?
Yeah.
I'll do the same. I'm not even kidding you. Because I don't think I'm kidding you.
You
Tell me
are
how.
beautiful.
Jamie is beautiful.
Jamie, I'll take
Totally
Tuesday.
adorable. Okay. Thank you.
So that's what I'm
Even
saying.
every other day, stagger it. I just need somebody to tell me.
Like, some people don't have a picture, but if you can see their picture, you can totally know if you know
Okay.
what to say to that
what kind of
person.
makeup they
Okay.
wear.
Yeah, and like what you could say, like, you are totally so right for this, job or whatever. But a general email, if you're just sending out a general email, you just say, how did you like your product? Sometimes if they ordered a lot of product, I'll send a different email back to them, and I'll say, you ordered all of this product, how did you like it? Just so they know that I'm speaking to them. So because they didn't just order a mascara or something.
So then how do you bring up the opportunity?
I just say, how'd you like the product? Did you like it enough to sell it? Because if you did, check out this information. And then you make mini pictures and.
Okay.
So what is getting people to want to sign up to sell it? Is there a certain product that they are liking, or?
It's the mascara, but I honestly, I think it's more talking